Thank you, guys. Thank you.
I know, right? Scott, thank you. And Bob, right? Bob has a brand new baby son, Miles, who's 5 days old. And he's beautiful. Congratulations, Miles. Well, that was fun. Go home. No, just kidding. All right. So every once in a while, I would do a talk called Things I Think About. And usually that was a default talk. And I'm going to be really candid with you guys today. So I was having a real, this is bothering me. I was having a real challenge writing my talk this time. And that doesn't happen to me. I wrote, you know how this goes. I wrote one talk. I went to bed. Got up in the morning. I threw it out. I know, right? And I wrote another talk. And I hated it and I threw it out. And I said, okay, God, what am I supposed to talk about today? And, just tell me what's supposed to be done. And so, I don't know about you, but I am on social media. And every once in a while, there's some things that pop up on social media that are really deep, and some are really funny, and some are funny and deep. So I chose to take some of these quotes from God knows who, and we're going to dive into them. What do you think? Yes. All right. When you realize heart and earth are spelled with the same letters, it starts to make sense. Think about it. I've never thought about that before. When you look at that and you go, wait a minute, here we are. Maybe this world does need a little more love because that's why we're here. Don't you love that? So what if someone deposited $86,400 in your bank account? What would you do? Hello, right? And suddenly someone swiped $10. Would you throw away the remaining $86,390 trying to get back at the person for taking $10? Well, here's that. We have 86,400 seconds in a day. Don't let someone's 10 seconds ruin the remainder of your day. Stop carrying what doesn't serve you. So I had to go to confession because yesterday I did a beautiful memorial for Bill Jones, and it was so lovely. And then after that afternoon, by the way, you don't have to take a picture. You know why? I'm going to have a QR code that you can take a picture at the end and have all the PowerPoints. There you go. Anyway, so at the end of this memorial, something happened. I'm just going to say something happened. And 10 seconds of something I allowed it to really impact my day. And it robbed me of the rest of my day. But I didn't just rob myself. No. I talked about that 10 seconds to 100 other people. And when I talked to 10 about that, it became my whole day and my whole story and my whole energy. And I woke up this morning and I went, oh, you just did what you're going to teach not to do. But see, that's what a minister does. That's what I've always done. I've always worked my crap out in front of you. And the thing is, you can see your crap in my crap. And that's why we love each other, because you can see my humanity and I can see you. And we go, oh my God, Joe's one of us. How many times have I said I should be sitting down and listening to me? Anyway, you don't drown by falling in the water, you drown by staying there. I know. See, I want you to walk away with something today, little tidbits here and there. But think about this. You don't drown by falling. You drown because you stay in that space. Start singing, I will survive. Just go walk out the door. Whatever the illness is, whatever the situation, you are not welcome here anymore. You have taken up far too much time and residency in my mind, and it's time for you to be evicted. Get out. So you can't just continue to bathe in the problems of your life. Get a towel and get out. Dry off and get a new one. Get a new idea. Come to the center. Get a hold of a practitioner. Read a book. Do something other than just allowing yourself to stay in that space all the time. These ones are funny. Funny thing about getting older, my eyesight starts to get weaker, but my ability to see through people and their agendas gets much better. Yeah? Yeah. I don't know what happened when I turned 60. I lost a filter. Yeah, you know that filter? The one that your grandmother told you, always keep your filter? Yeah. I don't know where the hell it went. But yeah, you start seeing people and things a lot differently now, and you go, you know what? I don't want to align myself with that energy anymore. I don't want to align myself with that vibration. It doesn't serve me. It doesn't bring me joy. It doesn't bring me joy. Once you hit a certain age, life is just a delicate balance of trying to stay awake and trying to fall asleep while slowly getting worse at both. Cute, right? So here's the spiritual guilt thing. You know, as a metaphysician, we're taught, you can't be upset, you can't be upset, all these things. You can be spiritual and you can be heartbroken, depressed, and angry. Say amen. Amen. I know, now some metaphysicians would say, don't say that because you're reaffirming bad condition. Spirituality helps you face the human experience, not suppress it. The idea here is you don't push it down. You don't pretend it doesn't exist. Throw it on the table and let's deal with it. Let's just deal with it. It's okay to be this way. Don't feel shame when you talk to somebody and say, my heart is breaking, or I'm depressed, or I'm really pissed off about something, But once you say that, you can't stay there. Oh, sorry, Annie. You can't stay there. Just like drowning, you got to get out of you can declare it and then say, you know what, now I have to do something about it. I can't just talk about it, now I have to do something about it. I need to teach my facial expressions how to use their inside voice. I know I'm going to get a lot of crap for this, but I inherited some pretty interesting facial expressions from my family. My grandfather, my mother, anyway. So, and sometimes they speak too loudly, In fact, sometimes I have the look, even though I'm trying to be a little gentle with my tongue, but I have the look. And people can't hear me because of the look. Do you know what I'm talking about? So we have to be really careful and try to start, putting the filter on. I'm not saying you have to walk around like Miss America. I'm not saying that. What I am saying, though, is we just have to sometimes teach your facial expressions to not get into old habits of revealing some sort of you being upset with someone when really you don't want to convey that, you want to work something out. Because when I see that on you and you see that on me, our first response is, uh-oh, there's going to be trouble. And because we believe it to be so, guess what happens? There's trouble. Another funny one. My ducks are not in a row. I don't even know where some of them are anymore. In fact, I'm pretty sure that one of them is a pigeon. These are a couple funny ones. Cremation is my last hope for a smoking hot body. You know what Dr. Tom used to say? Reverend Sheila could talk to me. Reverend Sheila was here years, Dr. Sheila Weldon, she's been here years and years and years ago. I mean, not like when Jesus was here, but close to it, right? So Dr. Sheila and the team here that was taught by Dr. Tom said, you know what, we learned a technique in teaching science of mind. And some ministers know this and some don't. And I think the successful ministers know this. You use humor to get people's homeostasis in their body into a place where you can slide in some spiritual stuff because they're receptive because they've been joyful in the moment. They're not in their present place. They're in a joy-filled moment. And so you sneak sneak in a little principle right after all that. So I just revealed one of my secrets. But it's a tried and true, tested, I've proven it. When you feel that, when you're light, you hear things differently. Next one, we cannot force someone to hear a message they are not ready to receive, but we must never underestimate the power of planting a seed. Now, don't lecture them to death. Plant a seed. And when you plant do you plant a seed and go like this? You dig it up. Now listen here. Damn it, we're not going to go through this again. I planted you, and I'm telling you that this is the way you're going to, if you could get out of this, you don't lecture a seed. You plant it. Are you with me? Stop lecturing and just gently plant something. It'll make a difference. Whenever you want something to be different in life, you have to start moving differently. Old keys don't unlock new doors. Ooh. I can't wait to tell my friend that. They're going to love that one. You can't put old wine into, or new wine into old skins, right? Same premise. If you want something to be different, then you got to start acting differently. You can't be the same and expect something to be different. And we know this. We hear this. We hear it all the time. We hear it so much that we're like, yeah, yep. But the reality is, until I start to change myself. See, I'm trying to be, I'm going to let you in a little secret. I'm trying to be more like my dad. Because if you remember my dad, do you remember my dad? Some of you do. Remember, he had Alzheimer's and dementia, and he was one of those happy Alzheimer's dementia people, and all he wanted to do was dance and laugh and he grabbed any female and within range, or men actually, he would grab anybody who would dance with him at the end of service just to show that life, right? And he never spoke ill of anyone, ever. I don't ever recall my dad saying anything bad about anybody. And, I kind of want to, I've gotten off track a little bit, so I need to start thinking about that role model. That role model. I had one, and we all have them. And we forget to try to role model them. We're trying to role model people that are on TV going, that's it, you're done, right? You want to go off on people. We're all spring-loaded. Have you noticed? Everybody seems spring-loaded, right? And sometimes I get spring-loaded. I need to remind myself, I don't want to be that person. I got to change the key. Everybody take a deep breath in. Exhale. For those of you who are alive, this will apply to you. Somebody is mad at you right now because you picked peace over drama and distance over disrespect. And someone's mad about it. Someone's really upset that you've chosen to be peaceful and respectful because they see it as an affront to them when all you're doing is allowing yourself to be at peace and be respectful. It's okay. It's okay to have distance. What did Dr. Tom used to say? You may have shared a womb, but you don't have to share dinner. Right? Oh, I do, yeah. So, somebody is mad right now because you picked peace over drama and distance over disrespect. Do what's right for you. We say God is love. God is love, God is peace, God is joy, God is beauty. You know how we say all those things? And everything is either derivative of love or fear. So if it's not love, it's fear. And so when you choose peace and you choose respect, then you know what you've chosen. You've chosen to go the love route. Once we go the other way, we're not going in the pathway of love. We're going contradictory to that, the complete opposite. This one is for those, this one I saw, and this is just an offshoot of this because this caught me so off guard. I just loved it. It's about grief. Grief never ends, but it changes. It's a passage, not a place to stay. Grief is not a sign of weakness nor a lack of faith. It is the price of love. Wow. And sometimes I think we forget that But I don't know why this resonated with me, and I wanted to share that with you because grief doesn't end. It's a passage. Grief is a passage and not a place. And anybody who's ever felt grief or is feeling grief and continues to feel grief because of a loss and it pops back up again, just know you're still passing with it. It's not a place where you finally go, okay, boop, I'm done. It's not like that. Because you love someone and someone left your life, it's okay to just go through the passage. Now, don't build a condo there. Don't stay there. You got to keep moving. And then you have to use your new keys to unlock new adventures in your life. So it's okay to feel that passage, but just pass through it. And when it pops up again, pass through it again. And it's a lifetime of passing through when you've loved someone like that. Someone recently asked me, this is mine, someone recently asked me what it means to work on yourself. They're like, I'm working on myself. You know, people, you know that line? I don't want to see you because I'm working on myself. I don't want to go to church because I'm working on myself. That was my favorite one. No, I'm not coming to church. I'm working on myself. I told them, I can tell you what it's not, right? It's not waiting for other people to change. Working on yourself is not waiting for other people to change. It's looking in the mirror and recognizing that the only person that's going to change and make a change and keep that change and make that change amenable to you, acceptable to you, is you. I'm not expecting other people to change for me. And that requires sometimes distance and space, and just out of respect, but I'm not allowing myself to feel that way anymore. I can't tell you what it means to work on yourself, but I can tell you working on yourself means changing you, not changing someone else so that you can play with them. Does that make sense? Don't judge people for choices they make when you don't know the options they had to choose from. You know, you only see the last clip of the movie of their life, the last scene. You don't know all the previous scenes that happened in their life that brought them to the place where they're making the decision that they're making. You're only seeing the last part. And your judgment stems from the things you see at the very last part of this process when you don't know what has happened that's transpired in their life that brought them to this place where they made this decision. But this one is big. Maturity is deleting the entire paragraph and texting/emailing back, okay. All right, this is me. Someone gives me some crap on an email, right, or a text, and this is me. Watch this. Or, I keep doing the typewriter thing. Right? Send. Got them back. Maturity is going, okay, and not think about it. Let's all try that. They won't know what to do with you. They will ask you if your Ativan is working. They will say to you, oh my God. How you guys doing? You good? Yes. All right, I got a couple more. We're going to go a little long today, but everybody will get out in time for brunch. This is another one. You must resurrect the deep pain within you and give it a place to live that's not in your body. Let pain live in art. Let it live in music. Let it live in a garden or be devoured by building brighter connections. Your body is not a coffin for pain to be buried in. Put it somewhere else. I like that. Put it somewhere else. And verbalize that when you're putting it somewhere else. Say, I'm putting you here now, so you no longer have residency here. I'm putting you here in a garden. I'm putting you here in my artwork or music, or I'm throwing myself into being a volunteer, whatever it is. Your body is not meant to be a coffin for all of those experiences to continue to manifest their anger and their frustration or their pain. Your body is something to be you're supposed to be living from that space, loving from that space, experiencing joy from that space. Anything that occupies anything other than that is taking away those joyful things. And they take it away with your permission. God, I hate that part. That I had my hand in it. Are you with me? Never blame someone else for the road you're on. That's their own asphalt. Read it again. I love that. It's your own asphalt. Finally, last thing. Join me and be a hopeful sexual. Just join me. I mean, I don't care what you are. I don't care who you sleep with. I don't care what you do. Just join me in being a hopeful sexual. That's somebody who has hope for what's happening that will unfold in our world. You know? Knowing is better, but I'll take hope for the right now. And if we all were to do that and act from that space and use some of these lessons, the world will be a better place. I have to tell you, I've had some real moments lately, and I'm going to share just one of them, and then the one will be done. You know, someone asked me recently about my ministry who didn't even know I was a minister. They're like, really? No way. Because I do live my life like it's going to be a book banned in Florida. I'm just letting you know that. Classic. It would have an R rating and then some. So, because I'm enjoying my life. I realized two things. When Trey and I were moving, we just set up our new house. We just bought a house in May. We were setting up our office, and Trey is very OCD, very anal, and everything has to be balanced. Everything has to be by design. It has to fit the decor, blah, 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 right? And so I bring out this box of memories, right? Trinkets, Carly's little handprint in cement, all that stuff. And now they've been sitting in boxes for years, right? No matter we move, they go into boxes because it doesn't match the decor. So we got the office. I said, I want shelves up, and everything is coming out of those boxes. For God's sakes, we're 60 years old. We're coming up on one of not the final lap, but like come on the final laps in our life. And I'm tired of having all these memories in a box. I want to see them when I walk in the room. I want to feel that joy of expression. So I thought, bring out your stuff that you've had in the closet that means something to you, and if it doesn't match your decor, just let it trigger within you something that was special. So what? It doesn't match the curtains or the drapes. Who cares? It touches your heart. So back to my other story real quick, and I'll get out of here. Someone was talking about the ministry, and I said, and I think I've given you this example before. Ministry is like all of you we're on this big pond together, a lake, and it's crystal clear and it's smooth. There's not a ripple to be had. And my job was to always take the biggest rocks I could, the boulders, and throw them into the water and let things ripple out. And you all were the first ones that got splashed by the boulder. But the words shouldn't stop here. You need to let them ripple out into your community, into your life. Now, I'm not saying you force feed anyone. I'm not saying, but you just let your love be the ripple that people see and ride the wave. I thought about Dr. Tom and all the people that have spoken here before. I thought about the hundreds, thousands and thousands of things that were said that have rippled out of this room into the universe, into the world, that have changed people's lives. Someone introduced themselves last night at Oktoberfest. I want to thank Jerry and Brian and everybody who worked on Oktoberfest last night. Somebody came up to me last night and changed my day, the day I was having. She said, I don't think you know me, but you changed my life. And I was like, oh, cool. That's great. She said, no. During COVID, when you guys were broadcasting every day at 10 a.m., I saw all of them. And now I'm in practitioner training. Where are you? Whoever said that, you're right there. Stand up. You're my newest ripple. I love it. God bless you, everybody. I will be back. Okay, just so you know, I'm going to be back candlelight on December 20th. So I'm sure they're going to have to do pre-sales on, not pre-sales on tickets, but they're going to have to give out tickets because candlelight's always full. But I committed to coming back in December on December 20th. Also, we're picking a day in March to have our 50th anniversary gala, and I'm finally going to have my retirement party. So I'll be coming back in March, and then or December, and then again in March. It was a pleasure being with you guys. I love you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you.
Exactly. Right in God's time, as we say.
And now we'll have our ushers come forward, please.
And there's